Hello and welcome to the 7th Exo Colony Devlog. My name is Pascal and today I'm going to show you how I added a mining machine to the game. Besides that, I also implemented a feature voted by the community and made some other minor changes. If you're new here, Exo Colony is a space exploration farming game on which I'm working in my free time. I'm sorry that this devlog took me more time than usual. I participated in Brecky's 2021 Game Jam, which was obviously quite time consuming, but also a lot of fun. I will of course also make a video which covers my jam experience. But for now, let's check out what I was able to achieve on Exo Colony during the last weeks. As always, I let the lovely people on my Discord server vote on one feature to implement for this devlog. I nominated the following options: bridges, footsteps, new trees, and rain/clouds. And the winner of this devlog's feature vote is... bridges. Nice. So, I went straight into Sprite to figure out how the bridges could actually look like. I decided to start with wooden bridge tiles, because that should be the first kind of bridge the player is able to build. Later on in the game there might be an option for stone or even steel bridges, but that's for another time. After I was somewhat satisfied with the first bridge tile, I exported it and put it into Unity to start implementing it. As always, I messed up the first implementation iteration, and the player was only able to build bridges exclusively on land but not on water. Quite annoying. But I was able to fix the bug and the bridge tiles were working fine after that. Now the player can cross rivers to reach other parts of the map, which is quite awesome. But I wasn't totally happy about two things. First of all, the bridges overlapped quite a lot with the land, because my water edge tiles had a lot of land on them. And secondly, I did not like that the bridge tiles don't connect to each other. I made it so for my conveyor belts and the power system. So I should do the same for my bridges. I started by widening my water tiles, so the bridge tiles will no longer overlap that much. And after that I scrapped my current bridge sprite and decided to start over again. But this time I made a bridge tile that I could easily modify in a way that it tiles correctly with neighbor bridge tiles. I then just took the connection logic from my power system, abstracted it, and then put it into my bridge entity. And there we go. Now the bridge tiles connect with each other and the bridges look way better in my opinion. There are some minor things I need to figure out in the future. For example, at the moment the connection system does not check for diagonal neighbors, which is the reason for these gaps between some of the bridge tiles. So I will definitely come back to this at some point, but for the moment it's okay. I have to say I really enjoy doing these features, which are voted for by the community, because it's a charming way to integrate you, the viewer, into this game's development. If you want to decide which smaller feature I should put into the game for the upcoming devlogs, feel free to join my Discord server and join our lovely little community. The link is in the description. And while we're at it, don't forget to subscribe and hit the like button. It helps a lot. After I finished the bridges, I did a quick polish on the item UI. I have to say that everything UI related gives me the most headaches at the moment, because I haven't yet figured out how I want it to look. At the moment I'm just pixeling some really generic UI together that does the job, but I have no idea how to make it look more fancy. If you have any ideas, please drop me a comment. Anyways, I still think that the item UI looks a bit better now, so that's something. Now to the major feature of this devlog. At the moment there are resources in the game, but if you destroy them to farm items, they will not respawn. So at some point all resources in an area are gone and the player has no reason to come back. I plan to add a way that trees can be planted and grow back, but that would be quite weird for all stone type resources. So I came up with another idea, mainly inspired by this lovely building in Littlewood. A mining machine. This machine would just dig into the ground and then spawn a stone or mineral resource next to it for the player to destroy. So as always, I jumped into Sprite and started pixeling a machine thingy that could do exactly that. I had an idea in my mind, and after some back and forth I had an animated mining machine that should fit quite well into the game. I was able to reuse the grappling part of my conveyor drone, so this might also add some kind of coherence to the overlook of all the machinery. After I was satisfied with the art, I started the implementation process. There were some tricky parts to figure out, for example how and where the machine is allowed to spawn items around it. I now made it so that I can configure a radius, and then the machine checks what tiles in the radius are free at the moment, so it can pick a random one out of these 3 tiles. Works like a charm. Now the player can just wait at the mining machine to destroy stone resource after stone resource and collect item after item. Of course the machine still needs to be connected to the power system, but for the moment I'm quite happy with what we got. And the last thing I implemented during the last weeks is another minor feature, but one that I missed for quite some time, and I'm really happy that I finally made the effort to put it in the game. The player can now drop single items and doesn't have to drop the entire stack of items like it was before. That is extremely useful, at least for presenting purposes, because now I can fill the conveyor belt way easier than before. And that's it already for today's devlog. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if so, please consider to subscribe, hit the like button, join the Discord server, follow me on Twitter and Instagram, and we will see each other soon for another video on this channel. Until then, bye!